السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنا في أيرلندا الشمالية وبالتحديد في منطقة اسمها أرموي. وأرموي أنا رايح هناك عشان في مزرعة أو بلاش مزرعة، هي اسمها ستابل بالعربي وبالإنجليزي. بالإنجليزي اسمه ستيبلز وبالعربي اسمه ستابل. بس المهم إن أنا جاي النهاردة أسوق حصينة وقابل حد من العائلات المالكة الأيرلندية القديمة، الأستاذ هيكتور ماكدونالد.
My name's Hector Mcdonnell, and I'm basically a painter. That's my professional activity. I'm also a writer, and I've written several books on Irish history in particular. And I live here now, though I've been in many parts of the world and indeed lived in London for a long time too.
اهلا بيكم في جولات ووكلات ميكو. جولات ووكلات ميكو النهارده واخد البرنس ده معايا في جوله حلوه كده اهوت عشان نعرف الاكلات زمان كانت بتتعمل ازاي، والناس اللي كانوا عايشين هنا اما ما كانش فيه عربيات كانوا بيعملوا ايه. ومش بس كده، لان انا جاي اتعلم كمان، هيعلموني ازاي اسوق الحصينه. ده مش عايز يفتح. هيعلموني ازاي اسوق الحصينه وافتح البيبان برضه. بلو عايزين بق بس. ويوم جميل هنا في ايرلندا الشماليه، وعندنا جولة جميلة مع الحصينة العزيزة. Maggie.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. You're going to be my teacher for today,
Yes,
instructor. And you're going to...
I'm going to show you everything what you have to do.
Yeah?
Everything from start
Wow,
to
I'm
finish.
excited.
If you climb up here, we'll show you how to get on first.
You know, I could have done it from the floor, but thank you. You're so kind. You're so kind.
One hand here, and one hand there, and over you go. And just your foot in here.
Which way? Oh, that
Yeah,
way?
perfect.
Am I doing the right way?
That's
It's
it.
so nice to be here. Hello. Hello, people.
Okay, so you want to give a wee kick on?
Yeah.
And off you go.
Oh, wow. It's nice.
Now go into here. And keep your hands low down.
No.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Sit up nice and tall. That's you. Just put the ball of your foot in your stirrup, your toe part, and push your heels down as far as you can. And
My
grip
heels.
tight with your knees. Yeah.
هي حاولت تفهمني ان انا عشان اخد الرحله او الرايد السواقه تكون اسهل لي ان انا اطلع وامشي بالريتم مع الحصان، بحيث ان انا ما اخبطش اما ينزل. وهي كانت برنسيسه، فطبعا اول ما ركبت انا وحسيت ان انا بدات امشي كده اهوت ولقيت الريتم صعب عليا، كان ان انا اكاتشب صعب عليا ان انا احاول اظبط الريتم مع اللجام، مع سوق الحصان، مع خد بالي تركيز في كذا حاجه. كان صعب شويه بس الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلت يعني.
Up, down, up, down. Keep going. Up, down, up, down.
Just like I'm moving.
And then pull back to walk. Keep going. Up, down, up, down. And pull back to walk. Pull back. Yep. There you go. Big pat for him. Well done.
Well done, pal. هناخد الحصان وهنلف فيه بقى. انا هعتبر ان كل حاجه في الدنيا ماتت. العربيات ماتت والاتوبيسات ماتت وكل حاجه ماتت، وهعيش الاسلوب كاني قديم 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 قوي يعني. And I think I'm ready now to have my first wander around.
That's
I'm
perfect.
gonna have a wander. I'm gonna check where is Hector. Thank you so much.
You're
It'll
welcome.
be lovely.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you. Nice
and
to
thanks
meet
for Trim. I know he's like one of your kids, and
He's one of my favourites.
I know you value him so much.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure.
It's nice to meet you.
Horses have been a part of my life since my childhood. My mother rode a lot, as did my big sister. And so I was got a pony at an early age and always rode as a child, and then went on and hunted for a time, which was quite an experience. You know, to do a lot of jumping for that, which I loved doing. I thought it was absolute passion of it.
Hello there.
Hello there, Hector.
Mico, pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
And what's the name of your horse?
Guinness.
Guinness. Oh, mine is Trim. Let's go for it. What are we having for today?
Well, we're going to go up the hill. That's the first thing we're going to do, up there. And I believe we're going to have a cup of tea at the top of it. And you're going to see where the turf gutting is done. And I'll tell you one or two stories. And then we're going to go to Bush Mills and see the place there, which is lovely, the beautiful hotel. And then, last and best, we'll gallop on the beach.
Wow.
I hope you can gallop.
I will try.
We'll try and idiot it out together.
We'll see.
Yeah.
طريقته في الكلام فظيعة. في هنا الانجليزي يقول لك ايه؟ ده بيتكلم كوينز انجلش، يعني بيتكلم زي ما الملكة بتتكلم، ده معناه ان هو بيتكلم ارقى انجليزي موجود على الارض، من غير والحاجات اللي هي ممكن تحصل، وعشان هو كمان بيقول قصص وبيكتب كتب، طريقته في الحديث تحفة.
And where do you come from?
Me, I'm originally from Egypt.
Right, yeah.
And we have horses there. We have camels.
Yeah, you have
But
camels too,
but
yes.
Horses are used a lot more than camels.
Yes,
So camels are only in the desert area.
yes, yes.
You won't find it in Alexandria, Cairo,
Yes.
main cities. You find more horses doing all the labor work,
Oh, yes.
carrying all the hay,
Oh, the
carrying
poor
a lot of
things.
things,
Yes, yeah.
food, carrying a lot of things, and they still go around. Till even these current days, we still use them very much, not just for riding.
Yeah. Both my parents were great tellers of stories. So I'd been brought up on all sorts of Irish legend material, and then I found a way of expressing that, so I write books as well. Prince of Dalriada, which is a local little kingdom, who was invited by his cousin, who was the king of the Dalriada in Scotland, to go over there and look after his lands because he was busy conquering other lands in Scotland, and he ultimately became the first Scottish king called Kenneth MacAlpin, and my ancestor looked after his old territory for him. So my family went backwards and forwards as political events happened that required them to do so, and ultimately they were exporters and importers of fighting men, basically for Ireland, and then our families all settled down and became landowners in Ireland effectively.
يلا بقى ترم بقى عشان ايه نديك حته احمد مظهر من ايام زمان. I'm only gonna try. 1 2
Well done.
How? That's it, Hector.
Brilliant.
You know, it worked.
It worked. Well, he did. I mean, I'm amazed. There he was. He hadn't been on a horse before, as far as I understand. And he's written extremely well. I mean, there's more power to him. He'll have to take it up. But of course, he has the advantage of being athletic and having done a lot of dancing, so that makes it easier for him to cope with it.
طبعا انا اول ما ركبت الحصان وبدات امشي كده هو عارف ازاي انا هتحكم فيه، خصوصا ان اول ما امسكه انا عارف لو شديت هوقفه ولو سبت هيمشي وبرجليا هيمشي، فخلاص انا قلت خلاص بقى يلا بقى عيش اللحظه. قمت عايش اللحظه وانبسطت جدا ولقيت نفسي عايز اجري وعايز اروح، وحسيت ان انا بقالي 200 سنه بسوق حصنه، بس برضو كنت ساعات بتلخبط في الطلعه والنازله دي.
The other thing which people forget, and they don't know what you're talking about, is shamrock. Now, what people call shamrock today is actually just clover, which you can't eat, but that's a recent thing that came into the country. The old shamrock was wood sorrel, which tastes like sorrel. You know, it's got that lovely sort of lemony taste to it. And,
bitterness.
and that was that was collected and eaten, and it was also the symbol of St. Patrick. In other words, St. Patrick
It's still even to now.
was also, he was offering something to people which they could eat. It wasn't an alien object. It was something which they knew about as something precious. It was the first edible food that arrived in the countryside in the early spring. And St. Patrick's Saint's Day, the 17th of March, is exactly the time when the shamrock, the real shamrock, the wood sorrel, first appears.
And to be honest, the fact that my horse is just completely ignoring me just to eat, you know, I can't say no to him. So I let him eat for a bit so I can have my face to you. Because it's rude here to have you back to somebody.
Well, indeed, yes.
Yeah, so me, I'm trying to be pleasant.
Yes. There was a sky goddess in Irish mythology who was the source of all wisdom, and she imparted her wisdom to the berries on the rowan tree. And what happened was that this is by her sacred spring, which is on the Boyne River, which is in the south of Ireland, and some of the berries from her sacred rowan tree fell into the river and were eaten by a salmon. And there was a famous person who was from up here called Cuchulainn, who ate the salmon. He cooked it for his master, who said that the salmon was for him because he knew it had wisdom in it. But he wouldn't listen to him, and instead he ate a little bit of the salmon himself. And he got the wisdom of the moon goddess that way. So that is where the rowan tree had this sacred quality.
That's the tree of wisdom.
As the tree of wisdom, and therefore you also find the salmon very often being used as a symbol for the Irish, because the salmon was the salmon of wisdom as well.
المهم ان هنا اما ما لقوش فحم ايام زمان استخدموا حاجه تانية من الارض اسمها الترف، وهي دي اللي كانوا بياخدوها يولعوها، وكمان بيقول لك بتدي ريحه ونكهه كويسه في الاكل. اول حاجه اللي هم بيعملوها. Here we are.
So here is a pile of turf, if you know what that is, or peat, whichever you prefer to use, and this you cut and lay out to dry. Something you probably don't need to do in Egypt so much.
No.
And then when it's dry, it makes very good burning material. And obviously in a country like Ireland, where there were no woods basically, and very few other resources that would burn, I mean there's virtually no coal in Ireland, for example, this was the main source of fuel.
So that was your own coal, in theory?
In theory, this is Irish coal, basically.
It's the Irish coal. We're doing everything Irish way today.
It's Irish way today. And it has a lovely smell. I mean, that's one of the things about it. It burns very gently, and it was always used in sort of ordinary houses as a way of not only heating, but also of cooking. So now you must take your loy.
This one?
That is a loy, yes.
That's a loy.
Which is shaped so that you can cut as a perfect rectangular shaped slice.
Like this, yeah?
Yeah, like that. Push it in as hard as you can.
All the way?
Yep, and then pull out, if you can. Brilliant. That's it. Shove it on here.
فطبعا ان انا اروح هناك واعمل الحاجه اللي هو كان بيعملها هو واهله واهل اهله والاجيال كلها لحد كده، ما اعرفش يعني شعور جميل اصلا، يعني شعور مش هقدر اشرحه لكم غير اما انتوا تنزلوا تشتغلوا بايديكم، بس مش عشان تشتغل، عشان انت عايز تعمل حاجه بايدك. So you and your ancestors and back to all the way to your family, you were in the same place doing the same activities?
Yeah, well, I mean, I descend from some wild Irish chieftains who were given a large plot of land by the English, which had been their sort of tribal territory. And as a result, we had this big estate, which was looked after more or less well by my family for a long time. But then, sort of about 100 years ago, the English very sensibly decided to break up the estate. So all the land which had belonged to the tenant farmers was given to them, basically. And so my family suddenly found itself without an awful lot of land, and ever since then we've had to be ingenious to survive, really.
You did?
Do we have a cup?
Yeah. Look what it is.
Where's the cup? Oh my God, you come
See, I'm an
fully
acrobat
equipped.
as well.
Right, yes. I do see. Well, may I offer you a perfect traditional Irish cup of tea?
Of course. Please feel free.
It's an extremely elegant performance.
Of course. We're royals.
Absolutely. Now, my famous ancestor, Sawley Boy, was so desperate that
So I'll give you the-
lived for a whole winter out of food that he made in the heel of his shoe. He didn't even have a pot to make his food with. So he mixed up porridge in his shoe and that sort of thing.
So there was no plates, nothing.
Nothing.
Everything in the
That's
shoe.
right, yes.
Wow.
You could take your shoe off if you like, and
I put the tea on it?
And put the tea in it, yes. But if you've got the cup, you might as well use it.
Okay. We do the big
We do
cheers.
that, yes.
Sorry.
There you are. What more can you ask for?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing apart from just, for these people to leave us alone.
Yes, that'd be a good idea.
كان من ضمن المحطات اللي احنا هنقف النهارده بيها في الحصان هي المطعم. والمطعم بوش ميل ده من اقدم المطاعم او من اقدم الاماكن اللي ممكن تكون موجوده هنا هو في عمر اكتر من 100 سنه. وبيستضيفوا ناس عندهم كتير واكلهم بيقولوا ان هو تحفه. انا هروح النهارده انا وهيكتور عشان نشوف المكان ده، وخصوصا هو قال لي عاملين لي مفاجاه. بلادي 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 لك حبي وفؤادي. تحيا مصر، بس فين؟ هنا في بريطانيا في ايرلندا الشماليه، وجايين نرفع العلم فوق الكاسل، ومبروك عليكم ميكو احتل المنطقه كلها ولكل الناس اللي في العالم عايزين يجوا يشرفوا هنا. انا حطيت العلم وخلاص، اي حد هيجي يشرفنا هنا خلاص مفيش في حمايتي ويجي ياكل ويشرف واهلا بيكم في جولات واكلات ميكو من تحت العلم المصري في بريطانيا. ميكو احتل البلد.
Look at that.
Haddock. There we are, and the Galloway beef.
Right, thank you so much.
So you have the braised shoulder, and then you have the fillet, which is cooked for 10 hours, and then you have the smoked haddock in the fish cream sauce with the sauteed potatoes and chopped scallions.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
This is from the good farmer, you're.
So it's all
Yes.
locally produced.
Yes, and that's from Donegal, The Hague, which is
Meant to be
the
very
next door county. Yeah.
Very nice. I had smoked my own haddock before in
Oh, have you?
in Arbroath Smoke, and it was a great experience.
Do you want to try a bit of this beef, do you think?
Why not? I'll go for it. Small bit.
A small bit?
I don't want to eat all your food.
No. No.
Thanks.
Absolutely. That was,
You want
that
it back.
failed.
Say the truth.
I wanted
Hector,
it back.
you wanted it back.
I wanted it back.
You want to try my fish?
I'll
Or,
try a little bit of fish, yes.
lovely.
If I may.
Wow. Take it all, Lucas. It's medium. Medium
That's
cooked.
very good, your fish.
That's thin.
Extremely well,
I loved it too.
extremely well cooked.
So
Look
this
at
is
those
in our
herbs.
cooking, yeah?
Yeah. And that I think is
Wow.
superb, actually.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think both dishes are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. my great-grandfather used to ride for 2 hours before breakfast, you know, and he would ride from here to Dublin or whatever. I mean, he was fearless, yeah.
Honest. How long would it take from here to Dublin? 2 hours?
I don't know. Well, it's 100 miles, so it'd take a long time, yeah.
So 100 miles around, hour and a half by the car?
Yes, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours by the car, but I think about 4 days he was probably riding on the same horse, you know, he wasn't changing horses.
No,
Yeah.
and having his food and his stash and everything with him.
Yeah.
Great. Sometimes I'm fascinated and I really wish I could have lived at this time. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Have you been to the Crown Bar in Belfast?
Yes, indeed, I have.
Well, it's the archetypal thing. You see, these booths have always been a way, because in old-fashioned pubs here, you weren't really allowed to have a woman at the bar.
Okay.
So you had separate places where you could sit.
So you put the woman... Okay.
Yes, so it was more discreet. And that's really where the idea of doing these booths developed.
It's more of privacy.
More privacy, yeah.
Me, I was coming here just to hide away from my crew and from these people, but they still managed to find us. So it was...
No peace for the wicked.
No. بصراحة أنا كان نفسي أحضر الغروب على البحر، على الرملة، عايز أجري بصراحة. وأنا هقول لكم على حاجة تانية بصراحة، أنا هحكي لكم كل حاجة. أنا حصل معايا حاجة صغيرة كده اتضايقت شوية. ليه؟ الناس عايزيني أمشي بالحصان بالراحة، كله عمال يقول لك امشي بالراحة عشان ما تقعش، أنت أول مرة، امشي بالراحة عشان ما يا عم أنت مالك؟ خليني أقع.
There are cattle which come down here, and I suppose we're going to meet them, which will be fun, I mean, they have a wonderful time to come down here to eat the grass, and they also get a sort of bit of the salt of the sea in them, which is very good for the taste of the meat. And then I have a very personal involvement with this bit of coast because my father was in charge of preserving this coastline by getting it for the National Trust and making sure that it wasn't built on or spoilt. So as a result of his activities, we have the good fortune to have large bits of the North Irish coastline preserved for future generations.
أنا انبسطت جدا. تعالوا، أيرلندا جميلة، مكان جميل جدا، ممكن تكتشف عن الأكل، عن الجولات، يعني مش مهم أنت مشتاق لإيه أو حابب تتفرج عليه، هتلاقيه موجود، والناس هنا هيفتحوا لك كل حاجة ليها بديل، هيفتحوا لك دراعاتهم كده، وأهلا بيكم في أيرلندا الشمالية. با 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 با. بص يا حصان، انا عايز اقول لك على حاجه. غلبتني يا سناره والله يا حصان، انا مش عارف اقول لك ايه. كان نفسي اغني لك اغنيه اقول لك ليه عشم وياك يا جميل ان بحت بالسر تسونه، مكتوب عليا احب واميل وترم وحشاني عيونه.